Hi, Ben-Herman. How are you?
Awesome, awesome. That video is awesome with the children stuff in the background there.
Yes, no, you
Uh,
added it in the video that you sent through to me, so I thought I might as well put it in.
that was good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
How's
think
it going?
sometimes we divide ourselves into our professional work, our hobbies, and our personal lives, and I think just adding everything together just gives a bit more personality to a person.
That's awesome. We try and juggle with family life and work now.
Yes, yeah, and it's not all separate because it all comes through to the work.
Yeah, and sometimes the bonsai have to be on the back burner.
Yes, no, definitely. I just wanted to find out quickly before we start. I just wanted to find out where you started with bonsai and how your interest in bonsai started developing.
Romano, I I love reading, and I started reading about the Japanese culture,
Okay.
and a lot of reference went to bonsais and bonsai gardens and the Zen gardens. And
Okay.
I was walking through a nursery in Houston, and I saw these little bonsai trees, and I grabbed one and I started reading up on it. That was about 7 years ago, or 7 seasons, and from there on, it's just became an addiction.
Okay.
I can't play golf. Doesn't work for me. So the bonsai is the best thing afterwards.
Okay. No, that's quite interesting. I was expecting something like I was watching Karate Kid and I saw the bonsai in the background because I
Oh yeah.
because I think that's where a lot of guys started off. But
It's
yeah.
the, it's the culture. The culture drew me. Is the Japanese have they've got a love for old things. So they've
Okay.
got a passion and a love and a respect for old things, and like the what do you call the? Have you seen those Zen gardens where they've got the pools with the rocks in them and the
Yes.
sands?
Yes.
So those things fascinated me, and the bonsais was also always a feature in me, and that's actually what drew me and started getting me into the bonsai.
Okay. Wow. That's interesting. Yeah, I think that's also something that sparked the love in me because as soon as I started working on bonsai, there was a time when I still lived with my parents that I drank green tea. I ate noodles with
Yeah,
chopsticks, and that was all just because I just indulged myself with the culture. It was just I wanted to dive deeper into it. So yeah, so I
yeah,
think it's
it's crazy.
yeah.
Mister, what's this first thing that drew you? That drew you to the green tea?
Oh, the green tea. It was just something I saw on one of the videos that Mr. Miyagi did. So for me,
Well,
Karate Kid was a big inspiration.
I think your hands
Yeah,
down.
just I just want to
Mister,
say that.
at the top of my movie list too. Don't worry.
Okay,
Good taste, good taste.
okay, that's good to hear. Just want to say green tea, is not the best thing to drink. It's yeah, it's almost like laxative.
Yeah, yeah. I'll keep the normal teas.
Yes. So I just what's the favorite species for you to work on? Because I know there's where you are currently. So you in the Dorings. So what species do you work with, and what works well in that region?
You okay? From us to up to Paul, or where you go over the mountain, eh?
Yes.
You've got we're a bit earlier in the season than Paul, and to towards the coast.
Okay.
And we've also got, but we don't have the sea breezes, so it's a lot drier weather. So in the Dorings where I live,
Yes.
is a grape grape valley. So we do table grapes, and then Worcester, Rawsonville, and those areas are wine grapes. So that's the different climates that we have.
Okay.
Agricultural or agriculturally, excuse my
Okay.
English. Uh, but most species do survive here and thrive here, and I'm all for conifers and pines. especially pines.
Okay.
Although I only have two black pines in my collection now. I've dug the rest, and I'm experimenting with stone pines at the moment.
Okay. No, I've also
But
experimented with stone
most
pines.
species survive, especially we get a lot of digs are from here, so we get a lot of wild olives.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. So I have a photo of you, a wild olive that you sent through. Uh, can you just tell us a bit more
Yeah,
about the tree?
that tree was that tree was bought in auction, and that was about 2 years ago. I can't remember who the previous owner was.
Okay.
So it's been with me for 2 seasons. I presume it's either been dug or grafted, but I think that would have been dug. And it's one of my trees that the reason why I like it so much is because it's very good, well proportioned,
Okay.
the pot and the whole composition.
Okay. Wow. That's it's quite a nice tree, I must say. It looks nice in the pot.
Thanks. It was in a growing pot when I got it, and that pot comes from, I think, Anthony and them
Okay. Wow.
up in Willow Bonsai.
Okay. That's then you spoke about the trees and the experimenting with different species. Uh, you mentioned black pines. That's something that I don't have in my collection yet because I personally feel they're too expensive to buy. But how many trees do you currently have?
I've got I had 70, and I think I'm down to 50 now, and I'm trying
Okay.
to actually start um, getting a few out of the garden because as you've seen on the videos, my garden is I don't have that much space, so I'm pretty worried that I'll clog the thing up. I have a tendency of grabbing trees that I shouldn't, but I think all bonsaiers have that problem.
Yes.
And what was that? And also the cultivation of it. I need to
Okay.
keep. I've decided to rather focus on normal trees than try and cultivate them.
Okay.
On your point on the black pines being expensive, no?
Yes.
That's why I started experimenting with stone pines.
Yes.
So in the valley over here is I keep on looking for trees when I'm driving around in Cape Town because I've got like one stone pine here on a hill,
Okay.
and I've managed to dig three stone pines, and they're actually thriving at the moment in this climate because they come from here.
Okay.
So if the experiments work out, I'll definitely be looking at doing stone pines, which I can dig and I can get some natural age in there, than paying too much for black pines.
Yeah. So I've bought a couple of bigger stone pines. There's a nursery in Stellenbosch, and what I found is as soon as you cut them, they start growing juvenile growth. Have you experienced that?
I've this is my first season that I've had them,
Okay.
and I'm still experimenting. So when I'm actually my you've piqued my interest about the juvenile growth and what it should look like, and I think I'm going to say yes because the moment I treated it as a black pine, it started. What's the English word for it? Back budding
Yes.
profusely, but it's all like
Shorter.
little short.
Yes.
It looks good.
Yes.
Not sure how I'm going to handle it. So I've been handling it like a black pine. I've had this response, and if you what was your response or your experience so far with the thing?
Okay. So my experience was basic. So as soon as I trimmed it back, it started shooting juvenile growth. And
Yeah.
what happens then on the next season, it starts growing mature growth. So now you have short needles and these long green needles, which are the mature growth. So it almost looks like cat whiskers on the tree. Yeah. So I don't know if
I've had, I'll actually send you photos of the ones I have, because what you're describing is precisely
yeah,
what I'm seeing.
yeah,
So it's going to be interesting collaborating with you and seeing, listening. But we've done the work of collecting these trees in the wild.
yes,
We've treated them with like a black pine,
yeah,
and now we've had the response. And what do we do with that response
yeah,
afterwards? Next step is I'm at the moment I don't know if you're having the same thing, but I'm waiting for my needles to harden.
yes,
So my black pines, they've already hardened. I've done my pruning on my black pines already, and my needle plucking. I've been holding back on the stone pines because I'm still seeing a lot of really bright green on there. So it doesn't feel as if it's matured yet. So I've actually been thinking, might this not be a single flush pine, because technically if those new growth, if it
yes,
doesn't harden by winter, it's actually going to be a dead branch next year. So then the stone pines will be single flush.
yes. So I've trimmed them back. I trimmed them about twice within this growing season, and they do bud back, but they don't formal buds or the candles. They grow with the juvenile growth opening up, so there's no candle to defoliate or to cut back to. So I think I might experiment on the pruning side, so doing it at a different in a different month perhaps, or looking at a different time or a way of doing it, because cutting it definitely pushes back juvenile growth. And what I've also heard is my one cousin is also experimenting with stone pines, and he said that as soon as you plant them out and keep them in full sun, the mature growth tends to grow better than with partly shaded trees.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So where's your cousin? Your cousin?
Oh, he's also based in Stellenbosch, but he's closer to Somerset side. So it's about 5 kilometers difference. So I don't know how that impacts the temperature, but I'm definitely working with him to see what works better.
You know, I'll also keep you updated. I'm gonna personally, I'll be checking if my growth hardens off, and I'll see if there's any candles or stuff that I can use. And then if that doesn't work, I'll probably try and treat it as a single flush next season.
Yes,
And I'll be twisting off the what do you call it, the candles,
yes,
instead of decandling everything.
yes. Okay.
So, but hopefully, I think we should start sending. We should start a support group.
Yeah,
Stone
definitely.
Pine implementation.
Yeah, we can experiment with that. Not a problem. Yeah, so
Definitely, we should use the trees that's available to us.
definitely, definitely. Because I think because they grow nice, and I've actually styled one about 3 months ago, and it's the taken its position. It's hardened off. I took the wire off, and they grow fast. They actually get wire bite if you leave them too long.
I must say, with the ones I've been treating them very roughly. Two of them's been blown out of their pots,
Oh wow.
and I've had no stop in the growth. So far it's not been the same experience that I've had with black pines. I've lost half my black pines because of repotting when I didn't in the beginning, when I didn't know how to treat the roots. But
Yes.
with these, I've been handling them in no particular with no softness, and it's been growing like crazy all the way.
Mm, yes.
It's an
Now,
awesome species so far.
yeah, oh, definitely. So as I'm speaking now, I'm just listening to what you're saying, and it sounds like you spend a lot of time with your trees. So how often do you work on your trees? Because it sounds like you in the bonsai garden 24/7.
It's I read a lot.
Sorry, let me.
Uh,
Is that on my side? Yeah.
oh,
Sorry.
sorry.
No, all
If I'm
good.
doing anything, what's going on?
Yeah.
No, no, Romano, no. I read a lot, so I like to absorb information. I
Okay.
do tend to spend a lot of time reading, and then especially I've normally I stopped even I don't do runs and stuff. I carry trees around.
Okay.
It keeps me fit.
Okay.
So I do spend I think on average I spend an hour and a half a day in the garden
Okay.
trying to end up and the last year or 2 years has been actually been a big learning curve for me with don't know if you follow Ryan Neal with
Yes. Now
Bonsai
I do
Ryan.
follow him. Yes.
So what the best word is. Let's see, it's empowered me a lot over the last year and a
Hmm.
half. What's also apologies. What's also helped me is actually
Oh, so it looks like Herman's video is frozen. As soon as he comes back, we will continue with that interview. Sorry, that's just something that we have no control over. He's all the way in the Dorings, and you did mention that they have been problems with their internet connection, but it looks like he's
hey,
back.
sorry,
There we go. Hey,
sorry about that.
no, it's all good. That's one of the things we deal with on a daily basis.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get my camera good here.
Yeah.
Listen, where did you lose me?
You were still talking about your passion for bonsai and how it was kept up by watching or reading Ryan Neal's.
Yeah, Ryan
Yes.
Neal. Ryan Neal, but Ryan Neal was definitely a real upper over the last year and a half.
Okay.
And then we moved we had twins a year and a half back, and we moved into a new house around about the same time.
Okay.
So financially, I couldn't buy really buy trees or a lot of equipment with all these new changes, and it forced me to actually spend time just keeping trees healthy and maintaining it and pruning it, and that's also been what I'm seeing at the moment is with every time I wire at the moment, my trees look pretty good, but it's actually because I've been pruning correctly, not because I've been wiring it.
Okay.
So I do spend a lot of time in my garden to make
Okay.
the question a lot shorter.
Then just the last thing, because I see we're running on 20 minutes now. I don't want to keep you up much longer. Don't know if you have a busy day. Um, I just wanted to find out what other things you're busy with in bonsai. So you mentioned you working on your own trees, but you're also busy on the organization side, like with Saba and Crab and the Worcester Club. So how are you juggling all that, and how do you get time for that?
I it looks like I'm like the movie The Yes Man.
Okay.
I tend to say yes to many things. It does keep me busy, but at the end of the day, I think I like being busy.
Okay.
So with with the Worcester Club is that's the one closest to my heart. So that's been up for four. I think we're busy 3 or 4 years. So the club itself has actually been around for a long time. We only sparked it up again, and when we talk about the CW club, it's actually the registration plates on the cars is
Yes.
CW.
Okay.
So that's where the name comes from, and it was just we started it again because of a need. We are Boland, we are sister club to Boland. So we joined Boland first, and then we started talking and saying, listen, yeah, there's actually people in Worcester that we know about, that we can join up, and rather than trying individually to go do a 2 hour drive every Saturday,
Yeah.
try and get people here to have talks and start forming a bond over here. So that's how the Worcester Club started, and we're I think 7 or 8 members, paid up members, and we've got a lot of guys that's also interested and busy involved in the club, other than the 8.
Okay.
Um, you asked me about the WhatsApp group, or the activity of the club during the lockdown, eh?
Yes, yes, I did. Not now, but in the
So
email I sent.
say again.
Not now, but on the email I sent.
Well, I remember. Yeah, you see, I do read. I remember. I read the question.
Yeah, I
So
think that was question number
with
10, but yeah, we're not
so
going to get to that.
the booster start with that, nah? Uh, uh, on the crab side, I've started as treasurer.
Yes.
We haven't had a lot of we haven't had we've had one meeting so far, but the lockdown messed up the meetings a bit. So I'm with, on that committee, enjoying it a lot. On Saba at the moment, I'm vice president, and huge sadness because of the cancelled event on Durban because of the lockdown.
Hmm.
So I was actually looking out. Do you know who should have been in Durban?
Yes, no, no, I know about the.
About the cancellation of
Yes,
the event.
yes.
So that's quite sad. That was one of my good calendars. But Saba, Crab, and the Booster Club keeps me updated with bonsai information. It's like a
Okay.
pool of experience. So it's I don't know how do you say this? I'm struggling. I'm running out of the English words.
Don't worry, we'll end shortly.
You would ask me another question. I'll come back to that point.
Okay. So you mentioned the email that I sent regarding going virtual with bonsai. So has there been any discussions within Saba or Crab or in any organization just to have a bit more interaction with bonsai enthusiasts? Because I think what happened now with this lockdown is a lot of guys are stuck at home. We started a WhatsApp group in our club where we're sending photos of videos and advice back and forth. But I think it does good to look at other people's trees. So, has there been any discussions on that?
Yes, you're almost playing into my hand at the moment. So with Saba, one of the things we're actually proud of, and we're busy working on it at the moment, is when we asked the question last year about what do you want Saba to do for you, we had a lot of responses saying, listen, yeah, the website is part of the face of Saba. We
Yes.
should we should try and promote Saba better through it, and we should promote our communications and our effectiveness.
Yes.
So over the last since the AGM, we've been working on and had meetings and consultations about building up the website.
Okay.
We're not refreshing anything. We're building a new one,
Yes.
and there was certain outcomes that we said, listen, we have to have this, and one is obviously it needs to look good and represent the South African bonsais,
Hmm.
and then it had to have functionality. So we're trying to we're looking at voting capabilities,
Okay.
streaming capabilities, and then
Hmm.
also automated communications to promote our country's bonsai better and to our members. And that's
Yes.
that's this what Saba doing at the moment. So That's still hot on the table at the moment. So we're around about in the middle of the process there. So hopefully you'll see a new website coming in the next 2 to 3 months.
Okay. Oh, that's very good. It's nice to know about that because I've been on the website a couple of times and it is difficult to find information on there. But yeah,
I know.
I'm very glad.
The information basically is how do we present it? How do we make it user friendly?
Mm.
I think one of the other stuff that we were talking about was also accessibility and needing the website to be able to run on different medias or
Yes.
forms of media. So you'll be able to see it on a phone, on a phone, on a tablet, on a normal laptop.
Yes.
So we are currently in the middle of that, and I'm actually quite excited. And but that should be finished in the next 2 to 3 months.
Ben, I just looked at the clock now. It looks like we're 27 minutes into the stream. So thank you very much for taking the time to do the interview with me. It actually didn't feel that long.
I've been nervous.
Oh,
It's an interesting experience.
okay. No, I'm glad. Is it the first interview that you've done with your current positions, or have you done any other interviews?
No, normally the interview feels this feels different. I actually do Zoom and the MS Teams or with my run of work, I do a lot of video conferencing.
Yes.
Different. I think I'm normally in the role that you find yourself and asking the questions. I'm
Okay.
normally not sitting and having to answer them. So it's a different experience.
Okay. No, I'm glad I could be your first in that regards and interviewing you. So thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you again.
Thank you.
Cheers.